Welcome back to Wrestling Sphere, where wrestling meets pride, legacy, and global impact. In the world of WWE, it's not just about power moves and championship belts. It's about representing where you come from with heart, honor, and unforgettable presence. Today's video dives into 16 WWE superstars who put their country on the map. Iconic wrestlers who didn't just win matches, but carried the hopes of entire nations into the ring. From America to Australia, from Mexico to Japan, these legends made sure the world remembered where they came from. So, who made the biggest impact for their homeland? Let's find out. Number 1. John Cena, United States. When you think of American wrestling, one name immediately comes to mind: John Cena. He's not just a WWE superstar. He's a walking symbol of American values like hard work, perseverance, and determination. Cena burst onto the WWE scene in 2002 with a bold attitude and unmatched strength. Over the years, he evolved from a brash rookie into the face of the entire company. With 16 world championships, a record he shares with Ric Flair, Cena has proven time and again that he thrives under pressure. What sets him apart isn't just his strength, it's his relentless mindset. His motto, "Never give up," became more than a catchphrase. It became a message to fans worldwide about resilience and self-belief. In the ring, Cena was known for lifting giants like Big Show and the Great Khali with shocking ease, showing off raw, real power. But Cena's influence goes beyond wrestling. He's granted over 650 Make-A-Wish dreams, starred in Hollywood films, and supported U.S. military members with genuine dedication. He proudly waved the American flag during matches and openly embraced his role as a hero to millions. John Cena isn't just America's top WWE representative. He's a global ambassador of strength, respect, and heart. He's proof that being a champion isn't just about wins, but about the legacy you leave behind. Number 2. Rey Mysterio, Mexico. When it comes to wrestling legends who embody the spirit of Mexico, no one shines brighter than Rey Mysterio. Standing at just 5 feet 6 inches, Rey may not look like the biggest or strongest competitor, but don't let his size fool you. His speed, creativity, and unmatched resilience made him a giant slayer in WWE. Rey brought lucha libre to the global stage, blending high-flying acrobatics with heart-pounding storytelling. Every time he stepped into the ring, it was a celebration of Mexican culture and pride. Rey became WWE's ultimate underdog, defeating much larger opponents with fearless moves like the 619 and West Coast Pop. His 2006 Royal Rumble win, lasting over 62 minutes, and his World Heavyweight Championship victory at WrestleMania 22 remain two of the most emotional moments in WWE history. What makes Rey a true representative of Mexico isn't just his in-ring success, but his loyalty to his heritage. His iconic mask honors his family and the lucha libre tradition that dates back generations. He's proud, humble, and always fighting with purpose, traits that reflect the strength and identity of Mexican wrestling. Rey Mysterio doesn't just fight for glory, he fights for his roots, his family, and every fan who's ever been told they're too small to succeed. With decades of impact and a career still going strong, Rey Mysterio is not only Mexico's finest, he's one of wrestling's most beloved icons worldwide. Number 3. Iyo Sky, Japan. When talking about the most dynamic and respected female wrestlers in the world, Iyo Sky stands at the top, proudly representing Japan on the global stage. Trained in the fierce world of Japanese Joshi wrestling, Iyo made her name long before WWE. Known for her lightning-fast strikes, fearless aerial attacks, and technical brilliance, she was already called the Genius of the Sky in her homeland. But when she arrived in WWE, she didn't just adapt, she dominated. In NXT, she became women's champion, stealing the show night after night with unmatched intensity. Her high-flying moves, especially her breathtaking moonsault, captured the hearts of fans worldwide. Then, as a member of Damage Control, Iyo brought Japanese excellence to the main roster, eventually becoming WWE Women's Champion at SummerSlam 2023 in one of the night's most shocking moments. What sets Iyo apart isn't just her physical ability, but her quiet confidence. She doesn't need to speak loudly, her actions in the ring speak volumes. Every move, every match, is a tribute to the proud legacy of Japanese wrestling. Iyo Sky is more than a champion. She's a symbol of Japan's fighting spirit, graceful, determined, and always evolving. She's inspired a new generation of wrestlers, proving that no matter where you come from, greatness has no limits. Stay tuned as we continue to explore more wrestling legends from around the world. Number 4. Bret Hart, Canada. When it comes to technical mastery, no one represents Canada better than Bret, the Hitman Hart, the excellence of execution. Born in Calgary, Alberta, into the legendary Hart wrestling family, Bret was trained in the infamous Hart Dungeon, where toughness and discipline were non-negotiable. That foundation helped him become one of the most respected and skilled performers in WWE history. Bret wasn't the loudest or the flashiest, but once the bell rang, he told stories that transcended borders. With flawless in-ring psychology, crisp moves, and an unshakable sense of pride, Bret made technical wrestling an art form. He was a 5-time WWE champion, a Royal Rumble winner, and a cornerstone of the new generation era. But what made Bret a true Canadian icon was how he carried his country on his back. He proudly wore the maple leaf, often entering to roaring ovations in Canada and thunderous boos abroad, especially during his anti-American storyline in the 1990s, which only made him more beloved at home. Bret showed that being a hero isn't about being invincible. It's about standing for something, fighting with honor, and never compromising your integrity. Bret Hart didn't just represent Canada. He elevated it in the eyes of wrestling fans worldwide. To this day, when fans talk about pure wrestling, they still say it, the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Number 5. Drew McIntyre, Scotland. From the rugged highlands of Scotland to the bright lights of WWE, Drew McIntyre has carved out a legacy as one of the most powerful and inspiring wrestlers of his generation. Billed as the Chosen One early in his career, Drew was handpicked by Vince McMahon himself, but success didn't come overnight. After an initial run filled with ups and downs, Drew was released in 2014. Most would have faded away. Drew went home to Scotland, rebuilt his body, his mindset, and his purpose. He returned stronger than ever, and by 2020, Drew McIntyre had climbed all the way to the top, winning the Royal Rumble and then defeating Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 36 to become WWE Champion. It was a victory not just for him, but for an entire nation watching with pride. With his massive 6 feet 5 inches frame, devastating Claymore kick, and unmistakable presence, Drew became the first ever British WWE Champion, a historic moment for Scotland and the entire UK. What makes Drew stand out isn't just his strength, but his resilience and authenticity. He speaks with pride about his Scottish roots, and never forgets the long road he traveled to the top. Drew McIntyre is the embodiment of Scottish toughness, a warrior who rose from rejection to reign as champion, proving that belief and hard work can rewrite destiny. Number 6. Rhea Ripley, Australia. When it comes to power, presence, and attitude, Rhea Ripley is the undeniable face of Australian wrestling on the global stage. Hailing from Adelaide, South Australia, Rhea broke barriers as one of the first women from her country to dominate in WWE. With her fierce look, muscular frame, and unshakable confidence, she shattered every stereotype and forced the world to take notice. Rhea first made waves in NXT UK, where she became the inaugural women's champion. But she didn't stop there. She stormed into NXT, then onto WrestleMania, challenging Charlotte Flair in 2020 in a high-profile title match that proved she belonged among WWE's elite. By 2023, Rhea had evolved into a full-fledged powerhouse, winning the Women's Royal Rumble from the #1 spot, the longest performance by a female superstar in Rumble history, and defeating Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 39 to become SmackDown Women's Champion. Her presence in the Judgment Day faction only amplified her dominance. She's not just a standout female wrestler, she's one of the most intimidating forces, period. Rhea Ripley represents Australia with pride, grit, and a no-nonsense edge. She's blazing a trail for future generations and proving that the land down under produces world-class talent with a bite just as big as their bark. From Adelaide to WrestleMania, Rhea Ripley is rewriting the rules, and doing it her way. Number 7. Ilia Dragunov, Russia. When it comes to pure intensity and unbreakable will, Ilia Dragunov stands as the pride of Russia, a warrior whose pain tolerance is only matched by his passion. Born in Moscow, Ilia moved to Germany as a child, but he never lost touch with his Russian identity. Inside the ring, he brings a style that's fierce, emotional, and deeply personal. Every match feels like a battle for honor, and every strike carries the weight of something bigger than just victory. Ilia first gained attention in NXT UK, where his brutal 5-star war with Walter, now Gunther, for the NXT UK Championship is still considered one of the most physical matches in WWE history. Against all odds, Ilia ended Walter's historic 870-day reign, not with flash, but with heart, grit, and unmatched resilience. Unlike most superstars, Ilia doesn't rely on catchphrases or flashy gear. His intensity, wide-eyed focus, and explosive strikes speak louder than words. His finisher, Torpedo Moscow, is a violent running headbutt that feels like a cannonball, a fitting symbol of Russian power and pride. Ilya Dragunov represents Russia with a raw, unfiltered fighting spirit. He's not the biggest or the loudest, but when the bell rings, there's no one tougher, no one more relentless. In a world of characters, Ilia is real, and sometimes, that's the most dangerous thing of all. Number 8. Davey Boy Smith, England. When you talk about British wrestling royalty, Davey Boy Smith, better known as the British Bulldog, is the first name that comes to mind. A true icon, he proudly carried the flag of England into WWE rings all over the world. Hailing from Wigan, England, a town known for its tough-as-nails athletes, Davey Boy combined classic British technical wrestling with surprising strength and power. With his shredded physique, braided hair, and Union Jack gear, he became an instant standout on the global stage. Smith's biggest moment came at SummerSlam 1992, inside London's Wembley Stadium. In front of over 80,000 screaming fans, the British Bulldog defeated his own brother-in-law, Bret Hart, to win the Intercontinental Championship. It was one of the loudest, most emotional matches in WWE history, and a defining moment for UK wrestling. But Davey Boy was more than one match. He was a pioneer, helping open the door for European wrestlers in WWE. Whether teaming with Dynamite Kid as the British Bulldogs or competing solo, Davey brought honor, toughness, and national pride every time he stepped into the ring. Davey Boy Smith didn't just represent England. He made the entire country believe they belonged on the world's biggest stage. A powerhouse with heart, and a hero to generations of British fans, the British Bulldog's legacy still inspires to this day. Number 9. The Great Khali, India. When the Great Khali stepped into a WWE ring for the first time, the world took notice, and so did India. Towering at over 7 feet tall and weighing more than 350 pounds, Khali wasn't just a wrestler. He was a giant, a force of nature, and a national icon. Born in the small village of Dhairana in Himachal Pradesh, Dalip Singh Rana, known worldwide as the Great Khali, became the first Indian-born WWE superstar. His arrival in 2006 sent shockwaves through the industry. With his massive hands, devastating chops, and intimidating presence, Khali quickly destroyed legends like The Undertaker and Kane. Just a year later, Khali made history by winning the World Heavyweight Championship, becoming the first Indian WWE champion. For millions of fans back home, it wasn't just a win, it was a moment of national pride, proof that someone from their world could conquer the global stage. Khali's popularity in India soared. He became a household name, appeared in Bollywood and Hollywood films, and later founded Continental Wrestling Entertainment, CWE, to train the next generation of Indian wrestlers. The Great Khali represents India's strength, spirit, and rising presence in the world of professional wrestling. He didn't just break barriers, he opened doors for future stars from his country. His legacy reminds us that no matter where you come from, giants can rise from anywhere. Number 10. Kofi Kingston, Ghana. Few wrestlers in WWE history have brought as much energy, positivity, and pride to the ring as Kofi Kingston, proudly representing Ghana, the country of his birth. Born in Kumasi, Ghana, and raised in the United States, Kofi never forgot where he came from. He brought Ghanaian colors and culture into WWE arenas, proudly waving the flag and speaking openly about his African roots. In an industry dominated by giants, Kofi stood out with incredible athleticism, heart, and creativity. For years, Kofi wowed fans with death-defying Royal Rumble saves, high-flying maneuvers, and an infectious charisma. But for a long time, he was seen as just a mid-card talent, until Kofi Mania changed everything. In 2019, after 11 years of hard work, Kofi finally got his chance. With the entire WWE Universe behind him, he defeated Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 35 to become the first African-born WWE champion in history. That moment was bigger than a title. It was a cultural milestone that brought millions of fans, especially across Africa, to tears. Whether solo or with the New Day, Kofi continues to inspire with his resilience, humility, and joy. Kofi Kingston represents Ghana with pride, proving that dreams can come true, no matter your size, background, or odds. His legacy is more than athleticism. It's about hope, identity, and never giving up. Number 11. Santino Marella, Italy. In a world filled with intense rivalries and brutal showdowns, Santino Marella brought something different to WWE: charm, comedy, and an unforgettable Italian flair. But behind the laughs was a competitor who proudly carried the flag of Italy. Born Anthony Corelli, Santino was introduced to fans in dramatic fashion, debuting in 2007 as a surprise contestant from the crowd in Milan, Italy. That night, he shocked the world by defeating Umaga to win the Intercontinental Championship in his very first match. It was the start of a WWE career filled with entertainment, unpredictability, and passion. Santino wasn't the strongest or the fastest, but he was a master of timing, character work, and crowd connection. Whether it was with his exaggerated Italian accent, wild facial expressions, or the legendary Cobra finisher, Santino became one of the most beloved comedic characters in WWE history. Yet beneath the humor was real skill. Santino was a legitimate martial artist and trained athlete. He competed in multiple championships, held the Intercontinental and United States titles, and was always ready to surprise, nearly winning the 2011 Royal Rumble and coming this close to beating Daniel Bryan at Elimination Chamber 2012. Santino Marella may have made you laugh, but he also made Italy proud. He proved that passion and personality are just as important as power, and that heroes come in all forms. Number 12. Cesaro, Switzerland. In the world of professional wrestling, few athletes combine strength, skill, and precision quite like Cesaro, proudly representing Switzerland with unmatched intensity and class. Born in Lucerne, Cesaro, real name Claudio Castagnoli, brought a European style rooted in discipline and technical mastery. From the moment he stepped into WWE, fans were drawn to his quiet confidence and sheer power. Whether tossing giants into the air with the Cesaro swing or delivering uppercuts with sniper-like accuracy, he quickly became known as the Swiss Superman. Cesaro wasn't just strong, he was pound for pound one of the most powerful wrestlers in WWE history. His strength seemed superhuman, lifting opponents twice his size with ease and often stealing the show, even without being in the main event spotlight. While Cesaro never won a world championship in WWE, he held numerous titles, including the United States Championship and multiple tag team championships, partnering with stars like Sheamus and Tyson Kidd. His in-ring work was praised by legends, peers, and fans alike. But perhaps Cesaro's greatest strength was his consistency. Night after night, country after country, he gave everything, representing Swiss excellence, discipline, and quiet determination. Cesaro proved that you don't need to talk the loudest to make the biggest impact. With technical brilliance and timeless work ethic, he carried the flag of Switzerland with pride and professionalism at every turn. Number 13. Xia Li, China. When Xia Li stepped into WWE, she wasn't just chasing a dream, she was making history. As the first Chinese woman to ever sign with WWE, Xia proudly represents China every time she enters the ring. Born in Chongqing, Xia was already a decorated athlete before wrestling. She held national championships in wushu, a traditional Chinese martial art, which shaped her unique in-ring style, a powerful blend of precision strikes, fluid movement, and real combat technique. Xia debuted in the inaugural Mae Young Classic tournament in 2017, immediately standing out with her passion, discipline, and warrior spirit. But it wasn't until 2020 that she truly transformed. With a darker, more aggressive persona, Xia reinvented herself as a fierce, no-nonsense competitor, determined to fight for honor and defend her heritage. She quickly gained a reputation for her lightning-quick kicks, explosive offense, and powerful presence. Her signature strikes and focused energy reflect the deep traditions of martial arts and the values of strength, discipline, and pride rooted in Chinese culture. While her journey in WWE is still unfolding, Xia Li has already broken barriers and become a source of inspiration for young women across Asia. Xia Li doesn't just represent China, she fights for it. With every kick, every match, she carries the hopes of a new generation, proving that tradition and evolution can coexist and thrive on the world's biggest stage. Number 14. Finn Balor, Ireland. When it comes to pride, precision, and passion, Finn Balor stands tall as the face of Irish wrestling on the global stage. Hailing from Bray, County Wicklow, Balor brought Ireland into the spotlight with a mix of technical brilliance, high-flying agility, and unmatched creativity. Before WWE, Finn dominated the international scene as Prince Devitt, earning respect in Japan and Europe. When he arrived in NXT, his impact was immediate, becoming one of the most popular and successful champions in the brand's history. His entrance, charisma, and unique alter ego, the Demon, captivated fans around the world. In 2016, Finn made history by becoming the first-ever WWE Universal Champion, defeating Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. Though an injury forced him to relinquish the title just one day later, that moment proved something powerful. Ireland had arrived at the top of WWE. Throughout his career, Balor has remained true to his Irish roots, carrying the flag, speaking proudly of his homeland, and often incorporating Irish imagery into his gear and persona. Whether fighting as a fearless solo star or leading Judgment Day, his style is always smart, intense, and artistic. Finn Balor represents Ireland not just with skill, but with soul. He's proof that a small-town kid from Wicklow can rise to become one of wrestling's most respected and influential global stars. Number 15. Gunther, Austria. When it comes to dominance, discipline, and pure ring generalship, Gunther stands as the greatest wrestling export Austria has ever produced. Born Walter Hahn in Vienna, Gunther rose to international fame under the name Walter on the European independent scene, especially in WXW and Progress Wrestling. His arrival in WWE NXT UK marked a turning point, and soon, the world would learn what the Ring General was all about. At 6 feet 4 inches and nearly 270 pounds, Gunther brings an old-school presence. No wasted movement, no gimmicks, just stiff chops, brutal powerbombs, and flawless psychology. He held the NXT UK Championship for an astonishing 870 days, the longest title reign in modern WWE history, solidifying his reputation as one of the most dominant champions ever. But he wasn't done. In 2022, Gunther arrived on the main roster and captured the Intercontinental Championship. What followed was a legendary run, breaking every record to become the longest-reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. With each defense, he restored prestige to the title, bringing back the aura of honor and competition. Gunther represents Austria with pride, precision, and power. He's not just a champion. He's a symbol of discipline, respect for the craft, and total ring mastery. In an era of flash, Gunther proved that old-school toughness still rules. Number 16. Sheamus, Ireland. If there's one word that defines Sheamus, it's fighting, and that's exactly what makes him a proud representative of Ireland on the global wrestling stage. Born in Dublin, Sheamus exploded onto the WWE scene in 2009 and made an immediate impact. With his fiery red hair, pale skin, and aggressive style, he stood out instantly. Just months after his debut, he shocked the world by defeating John Cena to become the first-ever Irish-born WWE champion. What followed was over a decade of chaos, brawls, and championship gold. Sheamus has won nearly every major title in WWE, including the WWE Championship, World Heavyweight Championship, United States Championship, Tag Team titles, and even King of the Ring and Royal Rumble. Few can match his resume. Known as the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus brings a physical, hard-hitting style that reflects his roots. Tough, no-nonsense, and fiercely proud. Whether he's battling solo or teaming with the Brawling Brutes, Sheamus always brings the fight. But beyond the brawls, Sheamus never forgets his Irish identity. From his entrance music to his intensity, every part of him screams Celtic pride. Sheamus represents Ireland not just through success, but through spirit, loyalty, and relentless toughness. A warrior in every sense, he's become a symbol of Irish strength and a legend in WWE history. And that's it, 16 legends, 16 nations, 1 global ring. Who's your favorite? Let us know in the comments.